Glacier Science Day. It's Ranger Melissa. I'm so excited today because I am on the park's east side near Cut Bait Campground, and today is a fabulous day. It's a little smoky today. There's a lot of haze in the air from wildfires, but it's still relatively cool since we've been having hot weather. And I'm surrounded by meadows with beautiful wildflowers. But today, instead of wildflowers, which are important, but we're going to be focused a little bit more on the grasses that make up these meadows. And in order to learn more about them, we're meeting up with the park's botany crew. Nico, Marissa, and Keegan are going to show us all about the surveys they do in the east side grasslands and why. And Nico, one of our botanists, also is taking this information and creating a master's degree out of it, where he is studying ecology at the Colorado State University in Colorado, but he's using information from here to try to figure out how these grasslands are changing over time. So let's go find out more from them about how to do the survey and what the survey is telling us. In order to do that though, I need one thing. Aha! This device here, this Android device this tablet has a Venza, which is a way to use GPS coordinates to find the plots in the park. So I'm going to use this, go out there, and hopefully I can find them and the plots they're working on. So come on, let's go. Hello, botany crew.
Hi.
Thanks for allowing me to use this to find your plots, although I saw you from the trail, so I didn't have to use too many skills, thank goodness. I'm so excited to be here today. We are going to talk to you all about what you're doing surveying the park's east side grasslands. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited.
Yeah, we're excited to have you.
Awesome. Okay, Nico, we're trying to find this plot. I've got this thing. What is this called?
That's our metal detector.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy. Okay, metal detector. And I have to turn it on. I see the on button, so I'm going to hit that. And now what?
Okay, so we're just going to bump it up in sensitivity just because we're looking in a big area. So now it's a little bit more sensitive and it'll be easier to find our nails that we have in the ground.
And you put these nails were put in 20 years ago
That's
by
right.
other botanists.
The nails are in a specific spot, and we use these 20-year-old photos as well as the GPS points to sort of pinpoint exactly where these nails are.
Okay. All right. Should I go find it?
I think you've got this.
Okay. And I just swing it?
That's right, kind of searching back and forth.
Whoa! Is that it?
I think we might have something.
Oh man, no way, we got it!
Open it, and there it is.
There it is.
An old nail.
No way. It is quite smaller than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And now you know where at least part of the plot is.
That's right. So this is the start, and we usually have one more nail we have to go find. But once we find the first one, we're kind of got it in the bag.
Awesome.
All right, so now we get to lay out these tapes, and we're sort of using our photos to line them out in the right direction, and we'll lay them out and set up our plot. You can go ahead and take this tape, and that's going to go right towards our friends, and then I'll take this one and go the other way.
All right. Nico, so you were saying that these types of grasslands you call montane grasslands, and they're found throughout the park?
They're really just on the east side of the park. And so further out east, we get into the mixed grass prairie, but here in the mountains, we sort of get this mixing of kind of more mountain grassland species with the mixed grass prairie. And so this is kind of a cool place where all these species sort of mix, and we get all sorts of combinations, which are really cool.
It is beautiful here. But I know that these plots have been around for a while. Can you just tell me a little bit about the history of like why they were put in initially, and like what are you looking for? What's the goal of monitoring these plots?
Sure. So about 20 years ago, these plots were first put in, and the park did that just to see kind of what's here, how much of it, and which are the species growing. And so just a couple years ago, the park decided again to visit them and see how have they changed. And so this is kind of this ongoing effort of revisiting these grasslands to see what's new, what's different. and are some of these potential threats coming into place that we have been seeing.
Oh, okay. Threats. Like what kind of threats affect the grasslands?
The big one are invasive species.
Oh, yeah.
We've been seeing them more and more coming into the grasslands as well as throughout the park, which is unfortunate. And then another big one is shrubby and woody species kind of coming into the grasslands. So the grassland turning from grasses and other forbs and things, turning more into shrubs and trees.
Oh, is that due to kind of different fire regimes, or why are those shrubs and why are they, do you know why they're moving in?
There could be multiple reasons,
Okay.
But kind of the one we think is most likely is fire.
Okay.
Because grasslands actually like fire.
Yeah.
It comes in and it clears things out and lets the grasses come back again. When
Really
a shrub,
quickly too, right?
That's right. They bounce right back. The next year, grasses will come back. But a shrub, a shrub might take years to establish, and once that fire comes through, a shrub is gone and it has to totally start fresh. One that we, expect is happening but aren't quite sure how it's playing out is climate change.
Okay.
Climate change could actually be interlinked with invasives and with shrubs. Climate change is related to fire, for example.
Right.
And so that's one of the things we're trying to answer is, we know climate change is happening. How are the grasslands responding to that?
Right.
Grasses are the preferred sort of food of a lot of our grazing animals, like elk and bighorn sheep, for example. They love to be here.
Okay.
There's also quite a few bird species that heavily rely just on the grasslands. They can't just survive in the forests and things. And so, quite a few species rely on these grasslands for
there's
food and habitat.
the mountain bluebird that I love. Don't they use grasslands, don't they?
Yeah, totally.
I love that bird, and I've seen them in grass. It's so beautiful too.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah. Wow, what a neat study. Well, I'm excited to kind of get my hands dirty, and now we have our plot set up. I'd love to get in there and just see some of these awesome grasses. And you also record forbs or wildflowers as well, right?
Right. That's right. Wildflowers, any species of plant that we find.
Anything there. Okay. Let's go do it. Let's go into the plot.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. Now I am in the larger plot, but I see you have this little frame. How do you figure out where to put this, and how many of these do you do?
So these are our microplots. There's 14 of them in our big 100 meter square plot.
Okay.
This is a quarter meter square. We place them at randomized spots that were determined 20 years ago. We use the baseline of the big plot as our x-axis and then another tape as our y-axis.
Okay.
And then within our quarter meter square plot, we identify all of the species that we see and do percent cover for them.
Okay, and you're counting everything, right?
Correct.
Grasses, forbs,
shrubs.
Shrubs, okay.
Exactly.
Cool. But then when you are counting how many plants are in each one, where do you put that information?
So we enter it into an Excel form on our tablets.
Okay. So you're going to take this data back to the larger database, and people like Nico and others researching these grasslands will be able to access this data, and park managers can look and see the changes over time. Is that how it works?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for showing me these.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
And besides the fact that it's great to see the wildflowers and see the critters here using the grasslands, I know that these types of ecosystems were really important to many of the tribes in the area. Can you just speak to some of the cultural significance of these grasslands?
Totally. So the indigenous peoples, they relied a lot on the grasslands for food and other resources, and they gathered these things directly from these grasslands, and so they still are to this day very important for our tribal partners.
Great. And also just even for hunting, right? Because a lot of the elk, the big game, would come to the grasslands, and that'd be an easier place for them to get all the animals together and hunt.
Right.
Awesome. Well, thank you, all of you, Nico, Marissa, and Keegan, for joining us today. We have learned a lot about grasslands and their importance to the park's ecosystems and to all of us. So thank you so much for joining us today, and wish you all good luck, and Don't take a nap, even though I know this is tempting, and I'm about ready to, folks, because it's sunny and beautiful, and who wouldn't, right? But thanks again, everyone. We have a lot more coming up, mini science videos on the road, and I'm excited for you to join us. So stay tuned. We'll see you next time. Happy Glacier Science Day. Bye.